What's up, YouTube? It's Bianca J, and I'm here today with a prophetic word from the Lord. And so today's word comes from the Lord speaking to me this early this morning. And so he woke me up at 4:56 a.m. right? And so at 4:58 he speaks and tells me Luke 5 and that it would explain more. And so my alarm ends up going off at 5 a.m. because I always have my alarm set for 5 a.m. to get up and do, read the Bible and to study the Bible, right? And so the alarm goes off at 5 a.m. So I'm already up and I grab my Bible. I sit at the table. And so when I began to start to go to Luke 5 to reread it, it was 5:05 a.m. right? And so we know 5 is the number of grace, and so that ties in to what the Lord was playing in my spirit yesterday. So the Holy Spirit was playing what is that song by William Murphy, okay? And it's called Same Grace, right? So it's like, God is giving you the same grace, same grace. So if you guys are familiar with that song, if not, go and check that song out. Same Grace by William Murphy. Okay, and so like I said, we know the number 5 is the number that represents grace, right? And so I thought at the time when I was ended up opening up my Bible to get to Luke 5, I'm reading Luke 5. It's 5:05 a.m. And then yesterday, that song was playing in my spirit for the entire day yesterday, right? And as well, this morning when I was going to write out this word, it was playing in my spirit. Okay, and so like I said, so as I was writing out this word, that song was playing in my spirit. And so God is giving you the same grace, right? So whom this word is for, the Lord is saying he is giving you the same grace, right? And so like the song says, there's a grace on my life to release the glory of God, right? There's a grace on my life to release the glory of God. That's one of the verses in the song, right? And so, and then it also goes on to say, and after all that I've been through, I got a story to tell you. He wouldn't let the devil consume me because God knew he could use me. God is no respecter of person. What he's done for me, he'll do the same for you. And so that's part of the song. I can't sing, but I was trying so you guys can kind of catch some of the lyrics in the song, right? And so, like I said, I was rereading Luke 5 because the Lord had told me to get up and go read Luke 5, right? And so in Luke 5, it talks about where Simon and the fishermen were out there. They were fishing. They had been out there all night and they didn't catch any fish, right? They didn't catch any fish. And so when Jesus speaks to Simon, he tells Simon to drop the net deep, right? Launch the net deep. And so when Simon launched the net deep, he pulls up so many fish. He catches so many fish that the net begins to break, right? And so he had a partner. He had to call his partner over to come, and help him because it was so many fish that the boat was beginning to sink, right? So their boats were starting to sink because of the catch that they had caught, right? And so before they caught these fish, they had been out there all night and had caught nothing, right? And what the Lord is saying by this part is that a lot of you all have been trying, right? You've been trying in your own strength and nothing has been going right for you, right? But it wasn't until the appointed time. Like it was the appointed time when Jesus spoke to Simon and told him to launch the net deep, right? It wasn't until the appointed time that they caught their catch, right? And so that's for a lot of you all. You've been going in your own strength. And Jesus is saying it wasn't until he spoke at the appointed time where you're going to be able to catch your catch, right? And so, let me see. I'm looking at my notes. Okay, and so in Luke 5, verse 4, it says, launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch, right? So that was Luke 5:4. That's why we're just going over. And so if you read further through Luke 5:5 through Luke 5:11, I don't have my Bible in front of me. I planned on reading it to you all, but I'm actually running some errands and decided to pull over and start to record this word. Okay, and so in in those verses, Simon begins in verse 11. Simon begins to tell Jesus that, you know, he wasn't worthy, right? He was a sinful man. He wasn't worthy, right? And so I got it wrote down here. Oh, okay. So he wasn't worthy he wasn't worthy of that catch, right? And so Jesus told him to follow him, right? To get up and follow him, right? And so he did, right? So because he got up and followed Jesus, Jesus made him a fisher of men, right? When at first he was just a fisherman. Okay, and so I want to go back to, I don't have my Bible in front of me. Okay, I gotta try to like move around it because I don't have my Bible in front of me. I wrote this word out. I wrote it out to go with the Bible verses that I will be reading. So I'm going to try to like tie it all in without having the Bible right in front of me where I can reread it to you guys. Okay, and so in Peter and the fisherman's obedience, right? They had, like I said, they had been trying, right? They had been trying and toiling all night and didn't catch anything. But in their obedience and with the little faith that they had, they were able to catch a catch, right? And it was only because they were able to receive this blessing, that big catch, because they believed and tried it again, right? So what the Lord is saying, to try it again, even though the picture doesn't looks perfect, even though the picture don't look promising, even though what you're going through, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Jesus says, try it again anyway, right? Like he told Simon, launch into the deep. Launch into the deep, right? He told Jesus Jesus told Simon to launch into the deep and drop down their nets for a catch, right? And so this is what the Lord is saying to you guys, to launch into the deep to catch your catch, right? And so, like I said, this time they caught many fish, right? Their nets started to break. Their boats were starting to sink from all the fish, from the harvest, right? From the big catch, right? And so this is the part where their faith, even though it was little, it moved Jesus to bless them, right? With the impossible, or what looked impossible to man. And so the blessing was so big, and that's back in verse 8. The blessing was so big, like I said, that Simon Peter, he fell down to Jesus's knees saying, depart from me, like, for I am a sinful man, oh Lord. Like, he didn't think that he was he didn't think that he deserved that blessing because he was such a sinful man. But when you go back into in verse 10, Jesus replies to Simon. He says, do not be afraid. From now on, you will catch men, right? Regardless of what you have done in the past, Jesus said, he chose Simon, right? He chose Simon, even though he was a catcher of fish. Now he's a catcher. Now he's going to be a fisher of men, right? And so this is the example of how fast God can move on your behalf, how fast God can change things, how fast the impossible can be possible, right? Because even impossible says that I'm possible, right? And so this is an example of how fast, like I said, God can change your life, how fast Jesus can step in and change your situation, right? But it's all at the appointed time. Right before, they caught nothing because it wasn't the appointed time. But when Jesus showed up, they caught a big catch. So many fish that their nets began to break. So many fish that their boats began to sink. Right. And so when Jesus speaks a thing, when God speaks a thing, it has to come to pass. And so the appointed time is key here, you all. And so the appointed time, their appointed time was when Jesus spoke, right? When Jesus spoke to them and told them to launch their nets, right? And so that's the same for you. When Jesus speaks to you and tell you that it is time, be ready for your catch, right? Be ready for your catch. It's coming. It's coming. And so the point of this message was that God is giving you the same grace, right? The same grace that he showed Simon and the fisherman is the same grace that he's going to show you. The same grace he is giving you, right? with this blessing that he's bringing to you. And so, like the song Same Grace by William Murphy again, you are, God is no respecter of person. So what he had done for Simon and the fisherman, he will do the same for you. He's no respecter of person. He will do it for you just as well. Okay, and so I'm here to tell someone today to try again. Like Simon and the fisherman, try again. Because this time the outcome will be different. Try again. Jesus is saying it is the appointed time. Now he's speaking to the thing. Try again. This time you will catch your catch. Your catch will be so big that it will break nets. That your boat will begin to sink with this catch. So launch it into the deep. Let it down and be prepared to catch your catch. Right? And so you're under Jesus's grace, right? You're under God's grace. And so, like I said, try it again and watch how he fill your net. Right? Watch how your catch changes, because this is now the appointed time. And so the appointed, like I said, the appointed time is for a lot of you all. You would know because the Lord has been speaking to you, and you've been like, maybe for some of you all, the Lord has been saying like, it's going to happen. And you'd be like, I don't see it. It don't look promising. I'd have tried and tried. It ain't came to pass. But the Lord is saying, try it this time, because now is the appointed time. And so just be sure that you are launching out into the deep, letting down your net for the catch when Jesus speaks. And so this is the end of this word. And until my next word, you all stay focused and be blessed. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye.